Hello guys, my name is Popola Janisola, your go-to media literacy consultant. And I kind of chose this very informal setting because I want us to have a conversation, basically, not just you watching a video, but learning something, right? If you check out my YouTube name, it's I Am One Who Cares, and I really do concerning us as youths in particular, our world, our society in general, making sure that we do the right things, helping our lives. So I chose this informal setting because I want us to have sort of like a conversation between two friends, okay? Now, I'm an educational technologist and a media literacy expert. So I'm in the process of registering my company, actually. It's called World Media Literacy Consulting. So I'm letting you know all this, what have I been mentioning since? Media, right? Media. So that's what we're majorly talking about today, media. Because it's all around us, right? We're imbibing every day. Even you are watching this video right now, you're imbibing a media channel, That is simply what it is. And the simple fact of it is media shapes us. Media is information, okay? We get our sources of information from the media. We get, the things that we like. Media is an agent of socialization for us. Okay, so I'd just like to briefly explain this. Okay, what that means is that, like your family, like your school, like your church, the media seeks to shape you. The media informs you. The media teaches you. Your school teaches you. Your family teaches you. Your basic agent of socialization is your family. Actually, that's your first agent of socialization. Then your religious bodies teach you things as well. So like just like those people, you know just like those agents of socialization, the media also teaches you things. Now, your most basic example of that, okay, is your news. If you've never heard about something, if you want to know about things going on in your environment, and then you go to your news channel, right? You switch it on, your apps, your news apps, you get the info from there. The news, the media has informed you of what is going on in your environment, okay? So even if on YouTube now, okay, let's say you're watching a YouTube video of something you've never heard of before, and now you are searching for that, you go and watch a few videos about it, and now you know more about it, right? So the media has informed you about that, so you are constantly learning from the media. Now, we need to understand this. This is very, very, very important, okay? Because it is shaping our lives. It is shaping our world. It is shaping the things that we view. Now, there are various things to understand when it comes to dissecting media, okay? But the most important one, I believe, for now, is to understand that media can influence your beliefs, your values, your attitudes, your priorities, your allegiances. Okay, it has a role in shaping all of that. It has a role in shaping all of that. And if you look at those things, those are what make us up as a society, like our values, the things that we care about, our priorities, the things that we put first, our views, how we view certain things. Our opinions basically about certain things is shaping that. So we really need to understand this. And where the problem comes in is it's the negativity that's the problem. Because if they were sending positive messages, there would not be a problem, right? We would all be living in a great world, so to speak. But they're not. They're sending very negative messages that are affecting us in a very, very, very negative manner, affecting our society in a very, very, very negative manner. Okay, now normally when I talk to people about this, I elongate the conversation, but we're watching a video and I want to get the point across as quickly as possible. So I'm going to show you a few videos, okay, of how media influence has infiltrated the real life of people, which it does constantly. It is a constant influence. Even look at this YouTube skits. What do they call them? They call them influencers, because it is obvious, it's plain, like they influence people, and it is not for so much good. Most of the times actually sending quite negative messages. So I'm just going to show you a few videos now of two videos showing how media has influenced people, so we can further understand this before moving on, So stay on, friend. You're going to see a video in a little while.
We'll take our final story with this video of a young boy whose shocking revelation of a career path has generated a huge debate on social media. Let's take a look.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A murderer, because I like killing. My brain tells me if I like killing or not. I like killing because when I first watched my grown-up killing show, myself started to like killing, and then my brain started to like tell me what to do with killing in it. So I like murders and I like killing in my life. I'm gonna kill everybody in the world except for my family because they just didn't do anything to me. I just like killing. So
just any type of person, it doesn't matter? What about me?
Yeah.
Even me?
No, not even my teachers either.
Okay, because I'm the first person that you told this. Am I? Yeah?
So, I just like killing.
So what are you going to be again when you grow up?
A murderer.
Okay. Rufai, what do you make of this? Would you say this is an excessive video game, or this little boy should be locked up, really?
No, it shouldn't be locked up. Psychologists should start working with him now. You know why? Because he's going to do it. And he has 90% chance of doing it. One, he has the intention. Two, he lives in a country where it's so easy to get guns.
Absolutely,
all right, you can get AR-15s and rifles and all that. It's America. But thirdly, you hear what he said there. The role of the media is important. Let's be careful what we expose our children to. He doesn't have a reason to kill, but he says, I love the killing shows I watch.
Right.
So parents should be careful what their children are watching, and parents should be careful the kind of trauma their children are seeing at a certain age. You know why? He's inculcated that trauma he's seeing through the killing shows at a certain age because his brain is still in formation. And his brain has been formed for life. These are the formative years. And that's why we should be careful on how. That's why I say parenting is intentional stuff. It's not just having children. You have to be intentional. So they need to get him across to psychologists, start to watch him. But if they leave him to roam like a normal citizen, he will do it. He's in a country where you have access to guns and all of that, and he's got the motive in the head. He will kill.
Tundu Abiola.
I read about Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, a bunch of serial killers, and they manifest those traits from childhood.
Yes.
Nice.
And they start by torturing and killing animals, like a stray cat, a stray dog, and they get that bloodlust. This child is dangerous. I can also never forget the case of Jamie Bulger, the 2-year-old child whose mother turned her back in a shop in the UK. This was many years ago. I was in school, and I still remember so vividly. And these two boys, they were captured on CCTV. Terry Venables, I can never forget his name. Initially, they were child A and child B. Later, we found Terry Venables was the child A. They just came, they saw this 2-year-old boy, held him by the hand and led him out. That's the footage, and they tortured him and they killed that boy. The British public were then shown the videos of those children being interviewed by the police. Obviously, their faces were blurred and their names were child A and child B. And they were saying they had watched a movie called Child's Play, Chucky.
I remember Chucky.
Yes, and that is why they decided to kill that boy.
Yeah.
And one of the children was crying. But Terry Venables...
something and then, being turned around into just a horrible, version of himself. And then you have, what do you call it? During the explanations, during the dissection of this, another example, I hope you get this. Another example, while they were talking about, this young boy wants to be a killer, somebody in the, host section spoke about another example of a media forum of two boys watching a movie and then it leading to them killing another little boy. Do you understand this? The media influence, it is so strong, and they picked up such a horrible, section from it, and actually activated that, leading to murder. This is how powerful, let us not make the mistake, of underestimating how powerful these media messages are. Okay, there's a lot of damage being done to our society today because of these media messages. We need to understand this. Okay, so as I'm going through, this is my first official video. As I'm going through this, different skits with you, this Hollywood skits, social media skits, all of that, the advertising, the movies, the music, they are all sending you negative messages. They are all embedding negative messages. They are all trying to turn our society into a dysfunctional place, into a dysfunctional life, into a dysfunctional place to be. Look at these media messages influencing these young minds in such a horrible manner. And people are so quick to blame the parents. A parent can love the child 100% and still, be victims of media influence because they're watching these things. Our parents are being made to, even depend on technology more and more when they're raising their children these days. Just leave them in front of the TV and let them watch and watch and watch and just imbibe whatever. We need to start to become aware that this is a major problem. That this is something that's influencing our society on a daily basis. Okay, so this is the first video, stating how media influence and affected people. Now, this is in our country right here. Like, look at these girls, for God's sake. Like, for real. And if you look at what they're actually doing, what does it remind you of? Don't you remember those movies? These American movies that the girls would just be in their bikinis, showing off themselves, exposing themselves, and making it look cool. Making it look like that's the right thing to do, like that's a good thing. And does it not look, like reminiscent of that right now? Does it not look quite similar to that? Because they're imbibing all this bullshit and they think it's cool, and they now start enacting it in their real lives, exposing themselves, behaving so wantonly, so shamelessly, because they've been misled. They're thinking that, okay, that sort of life is cool, that sort of thing is hip, it's trendy. They've been utterly misled. And this is a far more spiritual thing than you might think, anyways. But on the surface level, it is, a serious misleading. Their minds are being twisted into, and they are being made into people who don't even have a moral compass, people who don't know their right from wrong. Look at what they're doing. Look at this. They actually think that this is cool. They actually think that this is something worthy. In their minds right now, they don't see anything wrong with this. Sorry for the break in transmission, guys. But, I'm gonna have to replay the Look at all the, what they're imbibing right now. Look at what they're doing. Like, they've been made to think that this is cool. They've been made to think that this sort of, behavior is okay. Like, that they can, imbibe this sort of thing. And then, there are no issues. Like I said before, it is reminiscent of, what you might see in, like, an American movie or things like that. So they're being made to imbibe this sort of negative behaviors. And, what we'll actually be doing is these kids, we need to understand that these skits, these are, Hollywood skits and things like that, they are actually sending us negative messages that will affect us negatively if imbibed. So you need to understand that even though it is funny and things like that, it is actually sending, quite negative subliminal messages that will affect you negatively if you imbibe them into your real life. So learning how to detect that is quite essential. Like, media literacy is quite essential for any hope of saving our society, for any hope of, keeping our society sane, keeping our society on the right path, imbibing the right values. Like, look at this, girls right now, they think that all these sorts of things like that imbibing is cool because they've been watching all these sorts of crap, and they think that, okay, this thing is actually hip, it's trendy, it's this, it's that, not knowing that they're imbibing, all sorts of negative things, not knowing that they're being misled basically. So understanding that is quite essential. And these kids will be going through, each and every one of them, like understanding how these people, even though they seem funny and all that, are actually leading you down a path that is not essential, that is not beneficial for you, that will actually distort your mind, distort your values if you imbibe what their messages into your real life. So you need to understand that. And that is the first step, being aware, in order to be able to fight against it, in order to be able to equip your mind to stop these negative influences from happening. And I will be taking you through your journey of being media literate, your journey of enlightenment basically, and helping our world get back to the right track. So have a wonderful day. Peace out.